And we are live. Welcome back to Pistons Jack Fan Reacts. And man, what a unfortunately quite a frustrating night in Indiana tonight, where, as you can see, the Pistons fall to the Pacers 119-133 in another game full of emotion, full of technical fouls, had a flagrant, had an ejection. Uh, yeah, it's at the end of the day, like the Pistons just weren't good enough tonight. There's some really big holes that continue to show uh, on the roster when this team plays teams that are at the same level or slightly above. They've now lost 3 in a row for the first time since I think it was early December. It's been pretty much 2 months since they last lost this many games in a row. And yeah, they lose to the Pacers once again. Only 2 weeks earlier, it was a very, very similar story where the Pistons just didn't have enough against the Pacers, who, quite frankly, just have too much firepower offensively, too many creators. The Pistons put up a pretty good fight. They kept coming back. There's many times it was around 6 points or they got to 4 points. But honestly, it just felt like the Pistons were their own worst enemy tonight. As frustrated and as much as I absolutely hate the Indiana Pacers, I hate that team. I want nothing to do with them. As I'm watching them play, I am furious. But at the end of the day, they've now beaten the Pistons fair and square twice in a row, and they're just a lot more talented. They're Tyrese Halliburton, hate him to death just as a player. But he killed the Pistons. He set the tone from the jump. It was him and Miles Turner, the two that talked the most, backed it up in the first quarter, got the Pacers a pretty sizable lead in that first quarter. And although the Pistons were on the same level or maybe even better in the last 3 quarters, at the end of the day, when you come out and aren't ready, like the Pistons kind of weren't, you pay the price. So we've got my man Marvin, aka Devon, joining me in just a moment. And then it's free space. So if you want to get up here, hash out the loss, get all the bad vibes off you, the frustration, please jump up here with me and we'll talk it out. We normally go for an hour to an hour and a half. So plenty of time for anyone that wants to jump up and chat. We're gonna go through everything. We'll go through Stu's ejection, Cade's game. I thought Asar Thompson was awesome in that third quarter. The vets, the role they played. We'll talk it all out. By the end of this stream, we'll be feeling a lot better. And yes, Austin, thank you for noticing, brother. I whipped up some new graphics yesterday. Just thought we needed to level up the stream a bit. So I spent some time yesterday just leveling things up. So I appreciate you noticing it, brother. If you want to come up, Austin, if your girlfriend's not home, feel free to pop up here for a few minutes. Because I can see your comment here about the Pacers. We'll bring it up. With no respect, F the Pacers. They kicked our ass tonight, both physically and more importantly, mentally. Need a secondary scorer, ball handler. Halliburton needs to be humbled, though. Austin, couldn't agree with you anymore, man. Everything you said there, I'm aligned with. Super frustrating, but unfortunately, the Pacers just they're a better team than the Pistons right now. They got guys that are much more in their prime, so they should be, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating. But gonna bring up my man Devon. What's going on, brother? You sipping on tea?
My bad, I was not ready.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. I got you. I got you.
Putting my microphone up.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. I was just kind of sharing some early thoughts on the game. But man, how do you feel after that one? Third loss in a row, but I think the biggest thing is just losing to the Pacers. It sucks.
It sucks, don't get me wrong. And it's funny, especially like while I was waiting on here, I was kind of trolling people online. But I usually don't troll people, but it's fun messing with Pacers. But I feel like okay, they won the battle, but we're gonna win the war. Like this is a game we want to win more emotionally, kind of playoff stuff too. But I mean, Pistons are getting on a lot of people's nerves, and we was like the worst team last year. So I mean, this
Yeah.
is for us. This is a win to me. I mean, we just being agitators. Like for us to even be on this level without Jaden Ivey, without another All Star. I'm like, okay, like we're good. Like we're good. I swear we are.
No, I think that's great perspective, and it's important to remember, yeah, Jaden Ivey's now been gone for almost a month. And the signs of his absence, it's like obvious. It feels like this 3 game losing streak, it's stood out the most. But yeah, you're so right to be like even Pistons next, I feel like is kind of echoing sort of what you're saying. Like Indiana is 2 years ahead of us.
Yeah,
Like their guys are in their prime. Like Siakam and Turner certainly in their prime. I feel like Halliburton's, 25, 26 years old. So he's definitely in his prime as well. So, like you said, for the Pistons to be on this level, because they were in this game for much of the night until it was
yeah,
kind of the first 5 minutes sucked and probably the last 4 to 5 minutes sucked.
yeah,
Throughout the rest of the game, they were right in it. So I think that's a great way to start the show. Just kind of, to take a step back and be like, we're right there with some of the better teams in the conference for sure.
yeah. To me, I don't know. It's just funny. Like we won 14 games last year. Like chill out. Like y'all was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. This shouldn't even be a game you guys should be that animated about, but you guys want the smoke, so let's go.
No, like man, I it's tough watching it because it's like I love that intensity. Like as much as I like hate this Pacers team, like I respect that like they can talk like that and kind of back it up right now, even if it annoys me. But
Yeah,
it doesn't make it, like when you're on the receiving end of 2 losses in a row to it, it's just tough to like sit there. And even with everything you said, I 100% agree. It's just like, man, if we had a one tonight, like it's just, I mean, this is what like going for your team and riding with them's all about. Like
yeah,
these aren't like the lowest lows. Last year was obviously, but like it's just like if they had a one tonight, imagine the talking we could be doing. But you know, take a step back. Like it's good to be in these games and be able to like have these kind of rivalries, if you want to call it that.
yeah. I actually love it. I hope we bring back that rivalry because I mean, a lot of people don't like this type of stuff, like the fighting, but that's when basketball was good. Like we need the fights, It might
Oh man, I might have lost your audio. Did your mic drop out? You're good. I'll let you fix that up. But I do want to, if you can still hear me, the next thing I want to talk about. I got you back. Continue
you
with
hear me?
what you're saying about like the physicality and stuff.
Oh, a lot of people might not like it, like corporations and stuff like that and families, but if you want competition, we like that. So that's all I was saying.
Yeah, I mean personally, like I don't have a problem with it. Like, I don't doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't think anything that was done tonight hurt anyone. Like
Down there.
everyone's all good. Everyone's walking off the court fine. There's nothing dirty. I didn't think like so. I like it. I think it brings out emotion in the fan base between the fan base. Like
Yeah.
it's awesome. So I
Just
got no
pushing and
issues with
talking.
it. Yeah, like I got no issues with it. Like especially when it's like like it was a good that was a like I feel like that was a good entertaining game. Like,
Yeah.
like I can see and I know a lot of accounts online and like the bigger pages and media outlets are like talking about Stu getting ejected, which I'll talk about next. But like, I think like it's fun, it's entertaining. Like it's I don't know. Like even in the post game press conference, JB said something about how like he was alluding to the fact the Pacers were saying stuff that crossed the line, and it's not like it's they went past like basketball like talk, but I don't know. I think it's fun. It's entertaining. It's
Yeah.
good. I got no issues with
Me either. I mean, I've
it.
seen worse things, so
what
it don't
was
matter to
what
me.
was your thoughts on the Stu ejection, that play, and how it maybe affected the rest of the game?
To me, it was kind of like it was no reason for him to get ejected. like I understand he's probably trying to just show toughness, but it wasn't really a tech note to me. It shouldn't have been no tech, but also still need to be more mature and realize that it's other ways to affect the game than him just being so emotional with these type of things. Like do like Ben Wallace or some of the other great Pistons did. Instead of you getting mad and like put your hands on them physically, go and block their shot and mean mug them at the end. You don't have to always get ejected and always want to pump your chest out and fight people. Like I like Stu a lot, but he's still pretty immature when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah. No, I will say like normally I've always been in his corner in these like moments where he gets ejected, but I thought tonight was really costly. Like that's like and like I think it was in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Like they and like Duran, like we know has issues with Miles Turner. I mean, like the Pacers are a nightmare for JD because he can't defend in space, and the Pacers have players that
yeah,
can shoot at every position. So like they needed Stu tonight. Like if there's a game and like to get taken out of the game that early, that's where it's like it hurts. Not saying they would
yeah.
have won if he played, but like yeah, that's the one where it's like I see people talking about like he needs to go to like see a see a
It's
psychologist or go
psychology.
counseling.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, like shut. Like I get what you're saying, but like, nah, I'm not gonna like out here diagnosing Stu with bloody mental health stuff. Like
That is
let's
crazy.
let's relax. But like, I agree. Like for those that are like, it's a bit of a selfish act or it costs them a lot. I agree. Like I fully agree tonight because of the opponent and how early it was in the game.
I don't even know, like, where's this beef even coming from? Like,
I
I don't
think
even
it
know. It just came out of nowhere. Just Pacers and Pistons are now just, it's always heated now.
Well, I think so. There's a couple of things last year, but because the Pistons were so bad, like it stems from like Halliburton. Like I think he was like clowning the Pistons in one of the games last year, like doing what he does, like that
Yeah,
stuff, like where he's like telling the Pistons to call a timeout. Like even after he hit a free throw off Cade's technical, he's like doing this two-handed celebration, like just being like smart ass, like
yeah,
doing that kind of stuff. Like I think it started there like last season. And then like obviously now the Pistons had that big win against them in the tournament. I
yeah.
think that game in particular really ignited some stuff because I don't remember opening night there really being much when they played, but I think that game when the Pistons came in and literally just embarrassed them, won by like 20. From then on, it's just been chippy.
I still don't get it. That's kind of stupid, but I understand it for a basketball way, but still, it's like, it's not even that serious.
No, no. I think it's just like the Pacers, like I like. Can you not like? Do you see it? Did they frustrate you with that? I'm not
Uh,
saying it's wrong or anything, but like I know like a lot of Pistons fans will be like Halliburton shows off and talks a lot for a guy. I think it's like they talk a lot for a team that I guess they made Eastern Conference Finals, but I
I
don't know.
mean, like if there's like the Warriors and something like that, like when Steph had their run, killing it, I can understand it. But I do see people's perspective on that because they haven't won nothing. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals with an injured Knicks team, an injured what was the other team they faced? Was
Uh,
was it the Magic? No,
the
Bucks.
Bucks, yeah,
Bucks.
and the Bucks
Like
basically didn't have Giannis. I don't think.
you
Like
guys got an easy run to the East Conference Final. You're not that good. And also, like JB said before, when they start doing all this stuff, is when they're winning. Like when the
the
game was
front run.
close, it was none of that. But then as soon as it started becoming like a blowout, they just get super cocky. So to me,
Well,
like if you're gonna be cocky, talk about it, the whole game. Don't just do it when you're winning. It is kind of corny, but it
well,
is
that's
what
the
it
thing,
is.
man. What you saw when the Pistons were making their runs in the third quarter, early fourth. Tyrese Halliburton. I'm gonna like I could dig up stats if I have to. Like he was nowhere to be seen, man. He was
Yeah.
airballing threes, like turning it over. Like when they got that front run going in, like with 5 minutes to go. Yeah, he pops up and he was there ready to go at the start. But it's that front running stuff that I think it annoys me and it annoys fans. But you know, I can bitch and complain all I want. They beat us tonight.
I
So
know. That's all I can say.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm a sore loser, but it annoys me, and I think that's where a lot of fans, I feel like, would, yeah, reside.
I think I'm a sore loser too, but at the same time, I feel like I didn't think they was gonna win this game anyway. I was hoping they did. Same with the Magic. It's like one of them games that you really wanted to win. But I mean, we know a trade's gonna come pretty soon. That's my biggest thing. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you guys are beating on this team. Now the Pacers just had like a week's worth of rest. Pistons are tired. Y'all bragging about this. Like, okay, wait till we make our trade when Cade can get more reps and or more rest and this team is a little bit more complete. Like, it's not gonna be so easy. Especially we could have won this game now if we had like Ivory or somebody. So
Oh,
it's like
man, yeah,
laugh now, cry later.
literally, man. I feel like JI tonight, especially, he always, I feel like, plays well at home, as
Yeah,
in Indiana when he goes back home. Like, he would have been big tonight. I guess I do want to get to trades because I did just record a video which will go out tonight on some trades I'd like to see the Pistons do.
yeah.
But on the game itself, I guess we kind of covered the Stew thing. I think that was a big point. Thoughts on Cade's game tonight?
Oh, I kind of think K did a good job because I was thinking about this watching the game. They was going at him hard. Like you seen the one play when they trapped him on the backcourt and he got 8 second violation. Like they started off immediately just double teaming K, double teaming K, trapping him up. And I think I said last time I was on here too. Like it sucks seeing this with K, but this is a growing moment. Like you see right now, Anthony Edwards is just now getting these double teams. He don't like it. Like K, it's like, all right, I'm used to this by now. Once we get JI back, him getting more like all stars on his team, just a better team around Cade, it's gonna be nothing. Like he's gonna be able to find that man right there, right there. He's gonna be able to pass it out. He's gonna be able to get to a shot. So it's one of the things we still got to remember. This is a young team. It sucks right now, but
Yeah.
like I said, Pistons are coming. I swear, you can see things going on line up. Like it sucks right now, these growing pains, but it's a good thing though. It sucks, but it's a good
Well,
thing.
I agree, man. It's like they're building. I love tonight that I know the final score shows they got beaten by double digits, but like, to keep fighting back
Yeah,
when I just thought they were actually like shooting themselves in the foot as well so many times with
yeah,
like TJ McConnell would just bob up for a steal. Shepherd would hit a three. Like just as a Pistons, I thought we're going to get some momentum, but they kept fighting the whole night. And like there's so much growing in there, even if there's pains, like you
yeah.
mentioned. It's it's all gonna definitely pay off as they continue to mature, and it could as soon as the trade deadline. Just getting in some more ball handling and stuff. But I love your thoughts on Cade there. The other guy I want to talk about is Asar Thompson, particularly in that third quarter. I want to say he had like 6 or 8 points. He hit both his free throws. He was cutting. He got a couple of crucial rebounds. Had a nice hockey assist in transition with Caden Durant. Like I thought he was really good in that third quarter. But just any thoughts on his game?
I feel like Asar is still like I see a lot of people talking about him, just saying, "Oh, why is he not getting more minutes and different things like that nature." I feel like Asar is still kind of getting back in the swing of things. To me, he still doesn't look like the Asar from last year, even though he was a rookie and we was all excited and had little feelings about that. But something about Asar still seem a little off. I mean, he's doing a good job, especially getting like 4 blocks a game sometimes, 4 steals and stuff. So he's
Yeah.
still looking good, but it still look like Asar is still trying to get in the rhythm a little bit. So I mean, he is making a lot of impact when he's on the floor, but to me, it just still feel like it just don't feel like he's 100% to me.
Yeah. And like Um, I feel like as well, like that shows. I think he needs to improve his handle a lot, but sometimes
Yeah,
like he still just looks a bit loose, and maybe he's still just trying to like get back into the swing of things because he missed so much like 5-on-5 real basketball. Um, but I mean, I was just encouraged with his third quarter because I thought he struggled in the first half, but then Detroit got it all the way back to 4, and I just thought he was one of the key guys, like defending Halliburton or whoever they had, and then just making some really big plays. So yeah,
his impact is definitely like being shown a lot. But as you were saying, that, I was just thinking also, like Asar didn't get this time during the off season. Ji is
Yeah,
gonna get like some of this time in the off season too. Like the reason why I say this team is also coming, they're gonna have a lot of internal growth and stuff. You know, a lot of people gonna get better and better and better. So like Asari didn't have that all season. Ji got hurt this season. They're gonna get like imagine this team like 2 years from now when everybody just growing more chemistry. Like this team, I just see the vision coming. So even with
I
Asari
agree.
being like that, it's all good. Like the team is gonna be
No,
all right.
for sure, man. No, for sure. And all these types of losses, or even if they had a one tonight, like it all just helps build, um, pulls them closer as a team. Uh, I'm just scanning through some comments here, but while I am, is there? Let's talk about the trade deadline. So I thought you might have not been coming back on until there was a trade made. I
I
swear you
wasn't
said that
going to,
once.
but then I was like, let me. I wasn't going to.
I swear you said that
I
in
did
yesterday's
say it. I
chat or the
did.
day before. But we may as well bring it up. What do you want to see the Pistons do? Trade deadline for those that aren't aware is pretty much a week from today.
February 6th. I'm looking at the day. I'm counting down.
You got
So,
the countdown on.
I swear I'm so anxious because like they can really do some moves that can really mess us up, like a Blake Griffin trade. If we go over, I don't think we're gonna do it. I really think Trajan is smart. Like if he wanted someone like Levine, he would have been did it. The Bi stuff, like to me, why would we get Bi when he's not even playing? So that type of stuff is stupid. But the fact that we have the only team with this cap space and we're still in this playoff hunt, play-in hunt, it's just I don't know. It's got me so excited because I just know they can add a piece. It doesn't have to be nothing really major. Like I said before, Beasley was a key piece. He's only making 60 million. And you look at other teams like the Nick Richards going to the Suns. He's not a big rope or not a big star, but he's making a big impact. I can just see Trajan get him one of them guys. Not a big name, but they're gonna make a big impact, and it's gonna boost us to the playoffs. It's just I'm just waiting. I'm like super anxious to see what he's gonna do.
No, I can't wait. It's tough as well now because there was like, okay, they can be the third team in a Jimmy Butler trade, but now
Yeah,
there's also the Fox element of it all in the sense of the Pistons might be a third team in that whatever that trade ends up being.
yeah,
So it could go so many ways. Like I've spoken about, I think I've spoken about it with you, the players I want. But as in like CJ, Lonzo Ball, that I've spoken about them heaps. So I'm not going to go into it too much. But like, yeah, it does. They could end up with like any type of player. Could be like a diamond in the rough type guy, like an
yeah,
underrated player, like you mentioned, like not Nick Richards, but that kind of player who's on the bench for another team that is just looking for a bit more of a bigger role and a better fit. Um, but I think whoever it is, they have to be able to handle the ball and run an offense to just like an average level. Like,
yeah,
because it is like for me, like playoffs, I want it bad, but like I'm also just cautious of the fact that playing Cade, so he played 37 minutes tonight and he's got Ben Shepherd on him the entire time, full court. It was Andrew Nemhard the other week. Um, he had all the Rockets defenders on him. Like teams are just throwing their best defender at him
yeah,
full court, pretty much. That is going to wear him down, and I just think that's just not good for his development. Like
yeah,
as a fact, like I just think it's bad for him to have to keep carrying that load. Like because what I think they're now 23 and 24, so 47
yeah.
games in. We're still got 35 games left. Like, and Jaden Ivey, unfortunately, is not coming back anytime soon. And sorry, final point, then I'll shut up and let you talk. But
It's all good.
I had a lot of people push back about, oh, what about Sasa? We need Sasa. I think getting another point guard or a guard doesn't affect Marcus at all. It helps him more. It helps him
Yeah.
be a shot first guy who doesn't have to worry about running the offense. So, anyway, sorry for the long answer, but that's just where I'm at with it all.
This might be messed up, but I'm not that big of a Sasser guy, even though I know he's a two. Like everyone knows, we say it all the time. He's not a point guard, but like if we just put him at the two position, he's gonna be the third out of Ivy and Beasley. He's gonna be the third string. So I'm not really that big on Sasser. If we can trade him for an actual playmaker, I wouldn't lose no sweat over it. Like, I think
I
he's
get
kind of
you.
overhyped for the by fan base a little bit.
No, that's fine. I still like really like Marcus. I'm not like he's not like untradeable or anything, but
Yeah,
I think I see like a valuable player there with that skill set.
yeah.
But the reason I just want to try keep him is just because he's one of the only guys still. If you bring in someone else who can handle the ball,
Oh
so
yeah, I feel that. I
that's
definitely
why
feel
I
that.
want to keep him. Like especially on top of actually liking him as a prospect, it's just like I just think if you were to trade him out for whoever you get, like, it's still just a lot of like you lose ball handling on a roster
Yeah,
that doesn't have much. But no,
I
I'm with
definitely
you. I
don't
can
want to
see why
trade.
people doubt him like that, and that's definitely fair.
No, I definitely feel that. We definitely need to keep him because I mean, if we trade him just to get another guy who handle the ball, it's kind of productive. It don't make
Yeah,
sense. You know,
no, for
but
sure.
I don't
Um,
know. I just want to get rid of Tech at this point, to be honest.
oh no, Tex copping strays. Can I ask you?
I'm
Well, I'll
yeah,
get to, I just want to ask you because this is I found this hilarious. So Tech end of the third, right? I think the Pistons are down 8. Comes down in transition, misses a 3. That's okay.
yeah,
But next possession down, I think the Pacers make a 3 at the other end. Next possession down, immediately takes another 3 in semi
yeah.
transition. And I'm like, oh my, like if he misses this, I'm
I
not
feel
looking at
that.
Twitter. And he made it, but, like, yeah, I just found that funny that he just pulled up, didn't care. I was like,
I feel like I don't know. It could be because he's foreign. No offense, but
"What about me, bro? I'm foreign."
I know that sound. I said it, then it sound messed up. But he just. It seemed like he don't fit in with the team. But I don't know what it is. It just it just seemed like he's just the oddball
So,
out a lot of times.
I
Even
think
though
we're
talk about
coming
his
yeah.
music. We said what?
I think I think we're coming from different angles with him not fitting into the team, but I do think you have a point there in the sense
Yeah,
of like I think his role on the team is quite redundant to what it was last
yeah,
year. Like he came in last year and the Pistons had no wings that could shoot and kind of be okay defensively. They had no one of his size that could do what he did at both ends. Not that he's a
yeah.
great defender, but you know what I mean. Now this year, they've got not that
Beasley.
Beasley's they got Beasley, they got Tim Hardaway Jr., they got Ron Holland, they got Asar. Those guys all need minutes at the 2 or 3. So, like, he's been playing at the 4, which I think in theory he should be okay at, but they just it just has never felt natural for him this season. Like, it's always been like he's out of rhythm, and maybe he's a guy that honestly
Yeah,
needs like 25 minutes a night to get into a rhythm. He can't
yeah,
just do like these. What did he play tonight? 16 minutes and then 10 minutes the next. Like, I don't know. It just feels like I feel like wherever he goes, potentially, like he could actually look a lot better. I just think with the
yeah.
Pistons, he just doesn't fit this year.
No, I feel the same too. Like I give him a hard time, but it's also like we don't have a point guard and he's kind of playing out of position. But I just feel
Yeah.
like him and Tobias is just the fourth position. It just if they was better, this team like imagine Tobias made his threes and Tech was gave us like 15 points, even a good 10 points off the bench. We probably would have won this game. Just those two positions is just it's key for spacing out the floor, and it's just like they're not doing it for us at all.
Ah, man, Tobias tonight, like just awesome. He was cooking Obi Toppin. He was
Yeah,
awesome in the mid range post ups. As soon as he gets behind the 3-point line, it's just a different
right.
guy. I don't know who it is. I don't know that man. It's unfortunate. I know teams still kind of guard him, which is means you can still play him alongside JD. But man, 1 of 8 tonight, missed like 4 in
Yeah,
a row in that fourth quarter. And it
it
was
was
just like,
crucial
man,
too. That's the thing.
yeah, they're like, and they're wide open, man. Like all his threes, like I feel like they're normally so wide open because they come off, good ball movement or something. He just, I don't know what it is, man. The annoying thing is, like, I'll go in and I'll go look at corner 3 numbers, and I guarantee he's actually like above league average.
Yeah,
But when they really need him, man, like I'm not going to get on him too much tonight, but it's just like I just can't trust him from 3 ever.
yeah, I swear.
Like it's a fact. I feel like.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm so high on this team too. Though, like Tobias is not really a starter material. and also Tim Hardaway Jr. is not really starter either. Like we have talent on this team. Imagine what this team is gonna look like. So
Well,
we
and you're
just started
right.
talking about Tobias, but yeah,
No, you're right. Like, so long term for me, the 4 position and scoring in the front court's the biggest need. Like,
yeah,
Tobias is a stopgap, and we wanted him to be better so far this season. But like, uh, because Jaden Ivey's coming back, and I'm investing in that backcourt. Like, that's just me. But so to me, it's like you need someone at the 4, or if you at the 5 maybe. But the
yeah.
4 right now is the glaring hole that just they can't get that consistent creation and scoring from.
I definitely think that I want them to get like. I know it won't happen. This is my dream scenario, but I want them to get Triple J so bad, Jared Jackson, because
Oh
I
man,
swear I just want Cade with a dominant big. I swear this team will take off so much with a dominant big, and why not get Jared Jackson and then get somebody else who's just super big and tall. I just feel
man, if they got
like
Jaron
Cade could just
Jackson,
kill with that.
I mean, I must admit, I'm gonna shout out my man Cody. He kind of took me to task on saying Cade's better than Jared Jackson Jr. this season. I still think Cade's better, but I didn't realize how good Jaron Jackson Jr. had been this season, and he's been incredible. If they could get him, like, man, we're set. I just don't know how they get him.
Yeah, that's my thing
I
too,
don't
man.
know. He's Memphis's best player right now. Like, I don't even know how you get him out of there, but
I just
um, that
ever
that type
since
of player.
yeah, really ever since Cade was in the rookie game and he had that like pick and roll game with Evan Mobley, I was like, yeah, this man, we gotta get him a big man so bad. Like he was killing it during the rookie game with Evan Mobley, but Pistons don't have anyone he can really run the pick and roll with besides JD. But JD is not someone you can throw it low to. So I just even just historically looking at a player like Cade, they need like a big man. So I'm just always get that man a big man, we'd be straight.
Well, ma so this is the thing, like, with JD, like, I feel like he's got such good chemistry offensively with Cade for the most part, like,
Yeah,
but it's down the other end. But like, I say that to say, like, yeah, if imagine if you had like a real offensive big man, like
yeah,
Cade's chemistry with JD should be like a great sign of what that could look like.
yeah. I can definitely see it.
Um, but yeah, man. Oh, the trade deadline, it's gonna be fun because the Pistons, no matter what, like they're making a deal. They got
Yeah,
14 million cap space, spare roster spot. Uh like it might not be a blockbuster trade, but they're definitely making moves.
yeah.
100%. They like
The
it
only
would be bizarre if they didn't.
Yeah. The only way I'll get mad if they did something like completely stupid and took on like a Zeke Najee trade and just got like picks back. Even though they can, I want picks and assets, but don't get these negative contracts and be crippled because that would be insane. I swear
I feel
I'll be
yeah,
mad at
no,
that.
no, I'm with you. Like that would be disappointing for it depend on the picks, quite honestly, but it would
Yeah,
be just still disappointing, like for this season in particular, because like we really like we can see how competitive this team is, and like it feels like just a marginal move to address some of the holes would make a pretty decent difference
yeah,
for the short term. So um, I don't know. I feel like Trajan, whilst he wants assets, I like definitely. I feel like Najee's like not like a rotation player. So I feel like
no,
he
not at all.
so he's not going to just bring that guy in and have like dead money on the bench. Feel like
Yeah,
if he's going to bring in a contract like that for picks, it's going to be for someone who's actually like can be in the rotation.
yeah, I definitely hope he does. I mean, like, I don't know him personally, but I'm pretty sure he's going to. But you know what I mean?
I don't know why I
But
found that funny because it's so good. I certainly
it's just
don't
like,
know.
because he
No,
could
no,
do
I love
something stupid, and then I look dumb for
it.
believing in him. But I just believe he's gonna do some. I believe he's gonna do the smart thing. I trust him too, but
Yeah.
then again, like I said, I don't know him.
I don't blame you at all. After last season, after saying trust in Troy for 3, 4 years, whatever that was, and getting so excited about the Monty hire, like
Yeah,
until I guess we have got good results this year, but until like I need a huge sample size before I like nothing
yeah,
against Trajan, but before I start screaming to the rooftops about like how good of a
yeah,
GM someone is. Like I need more.
As soon as we start saying trust, he's gonna make a dumb trade, get like Julius Randle or something, and then it's gonna all go downhill.
Man, the Randall. I will say this. This might be controversial, but if Randall was on expiring, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't
but the
either. I
fact,
wouldn't want him long term. Even the 2 year
yeah.
wouldn't be bad, but like it's better than Tobias. But long term, I don't. That's a no.
No, 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 I definitely wouldn't. Because there's a ceiling with him, and also I'm just not sure about like his play style. But I just feel like if he was an expiring, the Wolves, I think, are desperate to get rid of him. You could probably get something a little bit extra with him, but just the fact he's got a player option the year after this, I just no,
No.
not for me. But can we maybe let's zoom out a little bit? I know we're talking about the trade deadline, but
Mhm.
3 losses in a row, first time in pretty much 2 months. I'm just going to pull up the standings here, but below 500 for the first time in a little bit. Feels like still at the 8th seed. Hawks just behind them at 9th, who just lost arguably their best player. Well,
Yeah.
second best player, definitely, in Jalen Johnson today for the season. How are you feeling?
I
Haven't looked
mean,
at the upcoming schedule, but yeah.
I still think they're getting in the playoffs. Like especially what you just said, the Hawks losing their second best player, Jalen Johnson. They're almost like how we are with Ivy. So I mean, we kind of can see how they're gonna do, but the Hawks don't have a young team like we have. They don't have a team that's like they don't have a Mike or a Malik Beasley, and you can't say Bojan is like they're Beasley, but he's been shooting horrible. So
Yeah, he's been struggling big time.
like, there's no it's no doubt in my mind they're gonna not. It's no doubt in my mind they're gonna miss the playoff or they will miss the playoffs. Like they're gonna make it. Like why? I can't see Sixers catching up to them. I can't see Nets, maybe the Bulls, the Heat do something they could catch up, but even in the play-in situation, like nobody's gonna beat them. So to me, it's a wrap. They just got to play these games and they'll be in the playoffs. Like if they miss the playoffs, I just can't see it. Like I can't wrap my mind around that. I can't.
Man, I'm with you. I still think like the Hawks will win some games. Like I don't think they're gonna fully drop off and tank.
Yeah,
Like as in like I think they're still got enough talent. But yeah, I feel like if the Pistons can make this move we're talking about, I think they're playoffs. Like I
yeah.
think they are. I didn't realize actually the Hawks have lost 6 in a row.
Uh,
But
I didn't know that either. That's great.
but yeah, I think even if the Pistons, I just feel like they're gonna make the playoffs. Even though I'm feeling a bit down, like
Yeah,
they've shown too much this season. That if they do make that move, I feel like they've got enough to get there this season, and we can enjoy some meaningful basketball in
yeah.
April.
The only team I will worry about is the Heat, just because the Heat. I mean,
Yeah,
Butler's not playing now, but they're gonna get something out of him, even though they're destroying his value. I don't get that, but it all depends what the Heat gonna do too, though. But I don't see no team beating us. Like, there's no way team's gonna beat us in the play-in.
yeah. No, I would be scared of the Heat, but I feel like the Heat are gonna be 7th or like we might play them the first week, but then or first game, but then we'll avoid them. So yeah,
Yeah,
I feel pretty comfortable against the Hawks and Bulls to get into the play-in or to get through the play-in, I should say.
and the
But
Bulls gonna sell too. So I mean, we better get in the play-in playoffs. Like,
I mean, it's kind of there for us.
yeah,
I just want to quickly go through some comments here. So shout out to my man Kyle. Appreciate the love, man. Glad you like the new look. I was hoping to have a bit of a new look with a win tonight, but did absolutely nothing for our fortunes. But appreciate the love. Pistons next says fans have to remember that we're losing against good teams. You win, you get to talk. Don't like it, win. Pistons will grow from this, and hopefully they don't overreact and try to make a big trade. I feel like that's aligned with what we've been saying. And yeah, I agree about the talking. Like win the game, then you can talk. So as much as it annoys me to say that, I do agree with you. Pistons next. And that is a good point. So they've lost to the Pacers, the Magic, and who was the first one in this losing streak? Man,
I don't even remember.
hang on. I'm looking at the Cavs. The
Oh
Cavs.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, they've lost to the Cavs, first seed in the East. No one should be angry about that loss. The Magic, I mean, it took like Magic had struggled, but they had their 2 stars back who would
Yeah.
both be all-stars if they were healthy.
I think if
And
Franz
then
didn't come back, we would have won that, and he came back
yeah,
just 2 games.
25 in the last quarter.
There.
So, I mean, it's good perspective because I feel like, yeah, no one wants to lose 3 in a row, but all these teams are in the top 5 or top 6 of the East. Like, you wanna win, but I don't know. It's just a reality of probably where the Pistons are at right now with their roster.
Yeah, they just have to bounce back in the end. I mean, they'll be all right. It does sucks, but like who I forgot his name, but he said about
Pistons next. I should have left
yeah,
it
I know
up.
it's Pistons something. It's so about not being overreactive. Just chill out. Just know it's gonna be all right. I'm not someone who overreact anyway, though. So to me, like it's always about being calm and then execute like that.
I I I will say I think I before this season and I used to be a lot better at, like, not overreacting. I think now that
Yeah.
I'm because I never used to watch all the games live. I would probably
Mhm.
watch more than half the season, like, after work at night, and I'd know the outcome. There's something about watching these games live that I'm just, like, so into it now, and
It
that they're
does make
actually
a difference.
competitive, but it's normally good. When I get on the stream with people like you after a loss especially, calms me down, gets all the overreaction out of me.
No, I definitely feel that. It depends how we lose too, though.
For sure, man. Shout out my man Sean. Press that like button, like Spike. Sean's always in the comments supporting the show, so appreciate you, man. And if you haven't already, guys, if you could like, it just helps keep this thing going and getting more people on the show. So appreciate you, Bobby Clipman. You shout out from YouTube user. Bobby got a nice assist tonight. I did see that. Did
I
Bobby
was on
take
my
a
phone. I
shot?
was like, "Oh, he's in there."
Did he
Like,
take a shot? I haven't got the box score. I can't remember him shooting.
I don't think so. But I mean, at that point, I was looking at my phone. So
Man, he didn't take a shot tonight. Man, Bobby's got to get. He's only had like 2 minutes of game time this whole season. He needs to get in and take a shot. It's
that's
garbage time.
weird
Get it
too,
up.
though. Like, why they not playing him? Like, I don't get it at all.
I do think. I think he probably should have played some more minutes, especially just in
Yeah,
garbage time. Like against the Cavs, I don't think he got in at all, which I thought was strange. I think he's quite bad defensively, if I'm just being honest. I
yeah, I can
think
see that.
at the 4, he's a bit slow and he needs to put on muscle. So I think maybe that's why JB hasn't gone to him at all. I think like fans, he's got that passing and can shoot. So I think he should be getting some minutes, but I think JB might be concerned about his defense because I know that is an area of concern with Bobby. But yeah, I still feel like he should be getting some more minutes, even if it's just in this garbage time when the game's done. Like,
Yeah,
it's been
I
a little
kind of
bit
was thinking
weird.
about that. They could be like developing him a little bit, especially with him being in the G League and stuff. So, I mean, we want him, but they know more than we know. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just
Like,
got to chill.
I think there's a player there for sure. Like, and he's shown all the signs of being a real second round steal, which is something I feel like us as Pistons fans don't normally get.
Yeah,
We're normally lucky to get the first round pick right in the
no, no,
past
for
15
real.
years. But like,
He's
I think there's like a player there for sure. I just think maybe defensively, he's quite far behind where maybe JB would like. But I don't know.
yeah.
I
I
hope
hope
his
he
team
turns
gets
into like Kuzma.
that would be cool.
I hope so.
That would be
Just
cool.
not so stupid. I hate to say that,
You know,
but
you brought up so Kuz is from Michigan, isn't he? His home
yeah, he's from
state.
Flint.
We- I respect Kuzma's game. I just don't want him. He's just not a player I think would help the Pistons at all. But
No, not
would you
at
like to
all.
see him on the team? Okay, yeah.
No, no. I actually
I
seen a
did.
video of he's talking about that. Like
Yeah,
it was this one guy I've been watching on YouTube, but he's not a Pistons fan at all. He just talks about like all NBA. But he was saying like adding Kuzma in Detroit would be disastrous, and it will because the whole culture aspect we're building. Like we're building a nice culture here. We don't need a clown like Kuzma. That sounds messed up saying, but he's just a clown. I wouldn't want that guy on my team, even as a 6-man role. Like he put up the bucks and everything, but I just felt like not for 20 million. We can get somebody better for that, or
yeah. I
22,
mean,
whatever he's making.
even when the team was really struggling last year, like, and I wanted them to make a trade, and even earlier this year, Kuzma's just never a guy I've really been interested in.
Yeah.
Um, so glad I got your thoughts on it. Shout out to my guy Mark. Uh, G'day, Jack. Well,
Yeah.
it's official. I hate Halliburton. I think a
That's
lot of
messed up.
Pistons fans are with you, my man. Mark's over in Perth, Western Australia. So shout out to you, mate. Appreciate you. Another one from Pistons next here, which I thought this was an interesting perspective. Sasser's in the same situation that Stu was in last year, playing a role that's needed, but not a role he's best at, which I think is a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah, I
Like
feel that.
Stu last year was playing at the 4 a lot, and
Yeah.
he's just not a 4. We've seen him as a backup big this year, even if offensively that part of his game's kind of almost evaporated. Like
Yeah.
his defense is like through the roof as a 5. So, and I think Sasa, we spoke about it earlier, like he's not a point guard. He's a shot first guy. Like, I can see him bringing the ball down the court sometimes, just being like, all right, am I running a set here? Or am I getting my own? And I feel
Yeah.
like even just having that confusion or whatever you want to call it in his mind doesn't help him. And it's why I think he'd be good next to, like, I like when they play him next to K. We just haven't seen it since Ivy went out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great point from Pistons next for sure.
That's why I wouldn't mind him with a bigger guard too, because it will make up for his size. We get a
Yeah.
bigger guy to ball, or the guy on Portland, Batten or whatever. Like,
Oh, yes. Is he
you
with
know
the
what I'm saying?
Blazers now? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
looking
he's
at
a
him like he might actually be a little nice guy. I know he broke out a little bit last year or the year before. Like, he might be someone we can actually work with. I mean, his shot is okay. It's not a knockdown, but I mean, we got Fred Vincent working with the whole team already, so I wouldn't mind him either, you know?
No, it's definitely interesting that, and you were talking about earlier, like Trajan finding a guy that could
Yeah.
come in and just have an impact. Like he would definitely be one of those guys who I was watching the Blazers play yesterday against the Bucks, and I don't think I saw Banton play. So
I don't watch
maybe
much
he's
Blazers, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I never, I'll be honest, bro. I don't ever watch anything outside of Pistons, but I just
Yeah.
had the game on for some reason.
It's hard.
um,
It's hard watching a lot of these games.
oh yeah, no, I don't have time.
Yeah,
And for
hard.
you, yeah, staying up late for you guys. Oh wait, whereabouts are you based again?
I'm in US.
Oh, you're in the
Um,
West.
no, US.
Oh yeah, I know you're in the US.
Oh, but
Whereabouts?
in the
Whereabouts
Midwest
in the US?
still. Not in Michigan, but still in the Midwest. It's same time
Okay,
zone and stuff, so yeah.
okay, yeah, got you. Um,
Yeah.
I was just looking at some more comments. Do you have? Maybe we'll go. Let's go through who the Pistons have got next. As DP says
I
here,
think
because I got it here.
Mavericks.
So they got yeah, like you said, the Mavericks
Yeah.
at home in 2 days' time, and then they have the Bulls uh on Sunday afternoon. So I think that's like a 3 p.m. start on Sunday.
Mhm.
Then after that, they play a back-to-back against Atlanta at home. So,
Mm,
I think they could win 3 in a row.
I would say that too. The Bulls might be tricky just because Levine,
Yeah.
but I mean he might be traded by then, hopefully. So
Hopefully.
we could. And Luka's out too. So I mean that Mavericks game is still a good team, but they're missing their best player right now. So we might can get him.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll probably go 2-1, honestly, but they could go 3-0 and I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. I feel like this team, I think they've only lost 4 in a row once at the start of the year. I just feel like they're much this team's too good sounds like I'm glazing them a bit, but I just feel like they're too good
Right.
to lose 4 in a row against this Mavs team at home without Luca. I think this probably still be a really close game, but yeah. And then I think
Yeah.
they win that, and then they get one of Chicago or Atlanta.
I feel like the Mavs been kind of bad lately too, but I haven't been watching them like that, but I feel like they've been bad since Luka been down. Well, not bad, but not
And
as
the, and
good.
they're without Lively as well.
Oh
He's
yeah,
out.
yeah. Man,
So
JD better eat, man.
he should. I
Yeah.
mean, Gafford's a pretty good shot blocker, but like, I don't know. He's not a
They'll
stretch
do.
big, I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then Chicago's a weird one. I'm with you. I think like if I had to put money on it, of the 3 games, I think that's the one they lose because the
Yeah,
Bulls shoot a heap of threes. They got Vooch, who we saw what he did to the Pistons earlier in the year.
yeah,
Levine, like, although, like, I could just the Hawks, I'm pretty confident they can get the win, especially without Jalen Johnson now.
yeah.
It's that Bulls game, I think, for me, is the one where I could see them dropping that.
And if they get that, then I'm pretty sure that's going to help them in the playoff standards and stuff. So, like losing these games kind of did suck, but we probably can make them up if we win 3 in
Yeah.
a row.
And that's the thing. Well, yeah, talking of standings, like you said, you kind of want them, if they're going to win 2 games, definitely beat the Bulls and Hawks because
Yeah.
they're sitting in 9th and 10th. Just get that separation even bigger. Hold those tiebreakers and everything. But yeah, man, any final thoughts? I feel like we've covered the game. We've talked trade deadline. Anything else you want to talk about?
I just feel like, as always, just be patient right now. And, this team is developing. So we can't, I mean, it sucks losing games like this and might want to throw your remote at TV and stuff like that. But, like, we're good. I just feel like I feel like this team is coming, and it's not even that I'm being a homer, not like I'm glazing or anything, but you can just see the development is coming. That 14 million that we have, like, who's gonna
Yes,
stop us right now? I mean, I can't say that much, but as far as
sir.
getting the playoffs, who's gonna stop us from getting the playoffs? Like, we fighting against ourselves at this point. Especially Jalen Johnson is out. Like, the Hawks was the one team I was kind of worried about in the 76ers, but 76ers not gonna catch up to us. The Heat might, but they got so much drama going on with Jimmy Butler. I doubt it. So, I mean, we don't want to see these type of losses, but at the big picture, we're gonna be in the playoffs. So just stay the course, and we're gonna be okay.
I love it. Stay the course. Stay the course, Pistons fans. Tonight's frustrating for sure,
Yeah,
but they've lost 3 in a row, but they've honestly been to all very good teams. All teams with honestly a lot more talent than the Pistons, or
yeah,
talent that is in their, like, closer to their prime, if not in it. Like, teams that have bigger aspirations than the Pistons, especially before the season started. So I think that's a great way to end it, my man. Well
and they've been
said.
in them games too, though. Besides the Cavs, I mean, we've been in these games, and we still got a lot to prove. So
We do.
just be patient. I mean, we got Tobias on the team. Other people got way better players than Tobias. So
Tobias copping Australia on the way out here.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
No,
I like
I
Tobias. I think he's probably a cool person, but just picture if he actually made his threes, how good this team would be, and gave us like
oh
a
man,
consistent 20.
if he had to hit 2 of those 4 or 5 in that fourth quarter,
If he
we'd
was like
get
Mike
a
Beasley at the
double.
power forward position,
Oh man, we'll be cooking.
I said Mike Malik.
I love it, brother. Well, thank you for jumping on, man. Appreciate you. Always extra nice to have people on after losses because I know a lot lesser people want to come up here and talk Pistons, understandably, but I appreciate you making the time to jump on and talk Pistons, man.
No, thanks for having me. I'm gonna be back on for the trade deadline because you brought it up.
Well, I want you back on before then, but I'm going to hold you to that as
Yeah.
well.
All right.
No, you can come on whenever if you
All
change
right.
your
Cool.
mind. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right. Too.
Catch
All
you,
right.
man.
Peace.
Bye. What a legend Devon is. Uh, I've got so Lewis reached out to me. He was on last stream. I'm hoping he hasn't jumped off Twitter. But if you're watching, Lewis, I've just sent you a link. I missed your DM a bit earlier there, man. So feel free to jump up when you're ready. While we wait, I will go through a couple of comments and I'll quickly check Instagram, see if anyone wants to come up. Doesn't look like it. Ooh, got a fair few Pacers fans in my message requests. Shit. All right. What have we got in here, guys? Some Zion talk. I feel like anything that happens with Zion's in the off season, it's a weird one. Part of me is like this. So when we think about Brandon Ingram and Levine, like it's always been like, well, they're injured, so I'm worried about them getting injured if you bring them to the Pistons. I probably would it depends on the deal, of course. But I know Zion has like a contract that like is works favorably with the franchise if he gets injured. I think there's some triggers in there, but he is a guy his talent level and his ceiling and what he can do is definitely a guy who has injury concerns that I probably would take a chance on in the offseason. I don't think Trajan would do it. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know if he would do it. But yeah, Zion's a name in the offseason that could, if there's a move there to be made, like I kind of wouldn't mind taking a gamble on him. But we've got Lewis here. Bringing him up now. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother? You doing all right?
We're doing good. I'm doing better than when I started this stream. Definitely when that game finished, I'll tell you that. But I appreciate you jumping on, man. Sorry, I missed your DM earlier, but I'm glad we got you on.
Oh, oh, you're good. Yeah, it's no problem. I was enjoying the conversation before anyway, so it's all good. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, really wanted this one, but man, Tyrese, man, that dude needs to get smacked. I'm so tired of him, bro. Like that dude is so soft. Like you just know he can't fight. So it's like I just want Stu to just wring his neck. Just one time. If you're gonna get ejected, make it worth it. Don't attack Brian. Why not attack Halliburton? Someone like that. I mean, that's all jokes, right? That's all jokes. I'm kidding, but man, he is an irritant. You get under George Blaha's skin. I mean, come on, bro. The guy's like 90. And he got George Blaha riled up today. Like that's how you know it's bad. So, yeah, it was a tough game though, man. Tough game. We're just shorthanded, man. But I gotta say, I appreciate what JB was trying to do. It was nice seeing Asar handle the rock and Cade playing off of his, just facilitating. Even if he wasn't too comfortable at times, I still appreciate them trying to make an adjustment because you already knew what Indiana was going to do. We're gonna blitz. We're gonna blitz Cade. That's it. Don't let him beat you. You stop Cade, you stop the Pistons. So uh, I like seeing Asar with the ball. Honestly, I know it was a little rough at times, but I liked it. I mean,
I think
there's not much to it, but
it's a great
yeah,
point. We didn't we spoke about Asar, but we didn't really talk too much about facilitating from him tonight, and just him bringing the ball up. I feel like there was a fair bit of that in the second quarter. And yeah, he did struggle sometimes, but it's good just to see them putting some faith in him and trying to develop that because if he can get to a
yes,
point where that is a real option for the Pistons every night, like that's going to help Cade heaps, and that'll help Jaden Ivey heaps when he's back, and whoever else they
yes,
have. And
yes.
Asar, the player, like, I mean, man, he can go to another. Like, we see what a man's doing, and I'm not going to put that pressure on Asar, but the athleticism they have
Yeah,
with a handle is a pretty crazy outcome.
exactly. I don't know. Again, he's got so much potential. We're such a young team. It's like, why not give him reps, right? I know you had mentioned about how Cade's gonna wear down, so I agree. It's like you just got to try stuff, be a little creative. I think you need reps to get comfortable. So this type of game where they were exclusively starting their possessions with the ball in Asar's hand is good for us, even if the result wasn't always good. I mean, we started off the game slow, but we're trying something different, right? So I was frustrated. I mean, we probably lost the game because of that start, but
Yeah.
I understand the process behind it. I understand what the coach is thinking. We all know what it is. It's so obvious, right? It forces them to put a defender, a body on Asar. And they actually had to put was it Siakam? Siakam was guarding him actually.
Yeah.
So they had to put one of their better defenders on him because of his athleticism and his size. So it was nice to see that, and see K try and play off of the ball. But
No,
yeah.
I agree. I probably honestly didn't notice that enough, to be honest, in watching it. I think I was getting too emotional about the Pistons' bad start. I was getting too caught up on the scoreboard. But I'm glad you brought it up because,
Yeah.
man, I think it's a great point and a great shout out for JB for making that adjustment and putting some trust in Asar. because, yeah, I think at times Asar, I don't think he's been standing in the corner as much as he has last season, but he needs to develop that part of his game, like for the team and for himself. So
Yes.
it's the best way to get those reps in.
Yeah.
And I thought, like I spoke about it earlier, but I thought he was absolutely awesome in the third quarter. Like
Yeah.
just the plays he was making. So can I ask, did you think he should have played more
Mm.
than 19 minutes? He didn't check back in until like with 3 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yeah. Asar, you're saying Asar's minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he only played 19. I mean, it felt like he didn't play as much as he could have, but I didn't realize that it was only 19. That's a little odd. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't go back to it more later in the game, but it's okay. I mean, honestly, the fourth quarter I was kind of checked out, to be honest. Once I seen like temper starting to flare and it started getting a little bit crazy. So it's like it's all good. I knew we were gonna lose. I kind of started playing the game a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that he only got 19 minutes though. He's one of your core pieces. I think he needs to get at least 25 to 30, especially without Ivy in there. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
these
he's
are
still
precious
got
reps. We need to see it.
exactly because I think his minutes restriction's like 25 minutes. So I just thought maybe JB could have got
Okay.
him in a bit earlier in the fourth, but at the end of the day, it probably didn't
Yeah.
change the result. Like he went to THJ, and then I know that time you're talking about. I think he had he got a tech or someone got a tech, and then it was like
Yeah.
Pacers were hitting threes and dancing, and crowd was going crazy, and it's like, yep, it's done. How about that
Yeah.
Tyrese shimmy? Oh, you might have missed it.
Yeah, I seen the highlights on Twitter though. They were saying I think it was you actually. I look at your posts. You're one of the very few people I follow on Twitter, so or well X. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think I seen you posted like Pistons fans, don't forget this, and I'm like I'm right there with you. I don't forget. I don't forget. So they need to use that as fuel. The same way the fans are pissed off, they need to use that to
And
be better. Let your game talk. Don't do so much chatting. I don't like it when they get too into talking to the refs and all that. Just let it go.
I think it's a good
But
point from you because it's like this happened last game, and the Pistons let their emotions get the better of them. And this game, you probably would have liked to have them seen come out and, yeah, be into it, but like let your game do the talking. And it just felt like straight away the
yes,
Pacers got that double digit lead, and they were immediately in the Pistons' head. Like obviously Stu was the
yeah,
main one who got ejected, but it felt like they were in the Pistons' head, all of them, the team. So I think they did a
yeah,
good job of
yeah.
keeping it under control, but yeah, by the end of it, the Pacers just won the mental game and killed them on the court.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'd rather have our guys care, right, than just shrug it off. So I like that, but they just need to learn to channel it. They're a young team. They'll figure it out. I think when Cade got a tech, I seen JB kind of putting him in check, like, "Hey, come on, like, we need you, man. Like, you can't be out here doing that." It's just, I think we'll be all right, man. But it's just I actually love how there's animosity between the teams.
Yeah.
Um, I forget what the last fan was saying, but well, I forget his name is what I should say, but I agree with
Devon.
him. I like Devon. Yeah, yeah, I agree with him. I enjoy the kind of throwback nature that these games bring. It's pretty fun to watch. Granted, we didn't get the result we wanted, but it makes me so much more invested. I'm not gonna lie, because when I hate the other team, I'm all in. I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm chomping at the bit for us to put them in their place. And Tyrese he's living on borrowed time, man. Just wait till Cade gets some legit help. I mean, you see what Cade did. He still had a great game. I mean,
Cade still
Tyrese got off
outplayed
to a
you.
hot start. Yeah, exactly. So,
I'm
and
sorry, he did. Siakam might have been
yeah,
the
he
best player on the court, but Cade outplayed Tyrese,
Albert
100%.
for
Yeah.
for sure. And I just I think what bothers me about him talking big is he doesn't want to guard Cade. You see him scurrying off to the corner, trying to run away. It's like, yeah, man. I mean, Cade will guard you. He's not scared of you, but you're scared of him. So that's how I view it. You don't really want the smoke. You're just talking. So, but our
Yeah,
players got to realize that and stay composed and just, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
we're already undermanned as it is. So
No, it's like,
you can't
and
be
that's
getting
what.
ejected like Steve did.
And look, just back to what you're saying about like how, you hate the Pacers, but you love this like rivalry coming back. And like, I'm with you. Like, I hate that
Yeah.
team. Absolutely hate them. But it's like,
Yeah.
like, I love it though that I hate them. And I love that Pacers fans probably hate them.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
best thing in sport is
Yes.
like when there's that team like that you just every season want to beat them, and that's the Pacers for us right now. It is for me at least. Like, and unfortunately, we're not
Yes.
gonna see them again. I don't think like it would really work for us to even play them in the playoffs or anything. But um, yeah, I think it's great
Yeah.
that we have that sports hatred in us. I've been dying for it for like
Yes.
5 years, man.
Yeah. I mean, before I hated them and I knew we couldn't do anything about it. At least now I actually feel we have a chance to win every night, even though some nights more than others, right? Like how you guys were talking about, this has been a rough stretch, but they're good teams, right? So
Yeah,
it's acceptable, right? I don't want to say it's acceptable to lose, right? You don't want to have that mentality, but from a fan's perspective, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the clear cut weaknesses we have. Last time we talked about our needs, right? Like who to trade for, what we need, right? So, um, we got these clear weaknesses that good teams are able to take advantage of. Uh, I understand why we're losing. It's not because of our guys necessarily. I would say it's just we're missing some pieces. That's all. We're a few pieces away from being truly competitive with the top seeds, right?
for
But
sure, and that's what's so exciting. It's tough because it's like part of me, let's just speak for myself. It's like, man, like when you're watching games like tonight against the Magic a couple of nights ago, whenever that was, you're just like, man, I just want to beat this team so bad. Like we're close, we're so close, but it's like
yes,
you also
yes,
don't want to rush and make like a big crazy move because you can see something really good brewing. Like
yes.
so, but it doesn't make it any less like painful sometimes just
Oh
in the game
yeah,
during the games.
yeah. I agree, man. I agree. Because the Magic that's another team that I do not like. They were doing a lot of talking too, but part of me is wondering, man, like all these teams not liking us, it's got to be something we're doing as well. Like we're not completely innocent now, too. You know what I mean? But I don't mind that. I love that they're taking on that mentality of Detroit versus everybody. If you're not with us, you're against us. The 29 other teams, and we hate all of you. Like, no love lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that approach.
Well, that
You could be respectful while competing, so it's all good.
I mean, isn't that how
But
it's always been? Like, I haven't been around Detroit and the city or followed the team long enough, but like, I just feel like
yeah,
that's just how it is. Like, when the Pistons are winning or are competitive, they just are one of the least liked teams, if not the most hated. They just like
yeah,
even there,
yeah, yeah.
like
It's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, guys.
you were cutting me off. I was just like thinking about the teams and like, I mean, even Isaiah Thomas, like cops so
Yeah,
much like stuff because there's a stuff with him and Jordan. Like, of course, he's like the one
yeah,
player that like Jordan doesn't like, and will go on
yeah.
a documentary and say it. Like, which I don't care about that, but it's just like, of course, it's a Piston. Like, it's just the way. It's just how when this team's successful, teams don't like us. So
Yeah.
I'm down
Well,
for it.
yeah, people love to hate a winner. So that
Yeah,
means we're headed in the right direction, right?
yeah,
And at least MJ gives Isaiah Thomas his respect. He's like, that's the
yeah,
second greatest point guard of all time. So you may hate me, but you're gonna respect me, right? As long
yeah,
as they respect us, that's what matters. Teams aren't resting guys. they're playing us as hard as they can with their best players. Like we've got the respect of the league. We're not taking anybody by surprise anymore. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing at this point in the season. It's not a surprise. It's not, oh wow, the Pistons actually pulled that off. It's we got to come ready to play. So I think we just gotta, take advantage of the games we um, have to win. How you guys were talking about the Bulls, the Hawks, teams like that, right? We gotta take advantage of Dallas without Luca. I agree. Uh, I don't think we can afford to let this streak live on any
Yeah.
farther. Um, but I think we're gonna be all right. Just like last stream, man. Uh, yeah, Devon. Yeah, I agree, bro. I think it's just how hard we play, man. I think that's what they hate. Most of the league is not that competitive. I mean, I don't want to rag on the NBA, but I feel like we've been bringing a physicality that most teams don't. And I don't think they like that. That's all. And then, one thing leads to another. Players get to talking and things get heated. It happens, right? But
And I also think teams don't like the fact that the Pistons now can talk. Like, as in, like,
yeah,
I feel like it. I must admit, if I was the opponent and I played the Pistons this season and they were like competitive and in the game and pushing me and talking, I'd be like, hang on, didn't you guys like win like 2 games last year? Like, but I love that from
yeah,
our guys. I'm just saying, I think
yeah.
like teams as well be like, who the fuck do they think they are? Like, you just come out of
Yes,
4 years winning like no games. But I love it from
yes.
our guys. It's like, I love that they're getting a taste of winning and they're immediately just showing like, one, how much it means to them, too much they want it, but three, like they're just gonna like
Hmm.
talk their shit, and I think it's awesome.
Yes,
But I
yeah,
think that would also annoy teams as well. Like, where did
yeah,
you come from? Like,
yeah. I
can I
agree, man. I agree. Okay, go ahead.
can I get your thoughts on just what happened with Stu tonight? Like, just overall.
Honestly, I don't like it. It kind of goes back to what I said earlier about let your game talk. When you just listen, he's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I know you said he's your favorite player. He's one of my favorites because I love the effort, the defense. I love that mentality he brings. But his fouls are so blatant at times. Like there's no disguising it. It's just so clear what his intent was. He's just trying to knock somebody down. He wasn't even looking at the ball. It wasn't like he was trying to box out Bryant. So I'm not sure. It had to have been something that was said that ticked him off, but I mean, obviously, right? But I just want him to reel it in a little bit. He's too valuable to the team, especially again with Ivy out. We need you at the
Yeah.
end of the day because our offense is going to struggle without Ivy and that secondary playmaker. Right? They try to start, but again, you saw how it went. It was kind of rough at first before it got better. Um, but yeah, we need that defense. If we're not going to be as good on offense, then we need to stop teams from scoring to stay in the game. And he's probably our best defender, I would say, at least from our bigs, bare minimum, right? So
Yeah.
he's just too valuable to lose. He should have just kept his anger in check. That's all.
No, absolutely. I'm with you. Like, very, very rarely have I like been like, because like I think for me with Stu, someone says here, are we giving up on Stu? We're not giving up on Stu at all.
No,
But I just want to
not at
address
all.
that.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't. I think like sometimes these texts from Stu, these flagrants, like that's what you get when if you want a player that's going to set a tone, be
Hmm.
aggressive, like just be there, like be that guy feeling fourth on your team. Like that's just what comes with it. You can't take that out of him or else it's not who he is. So
Yeah.
normally, like I don't get. I love most, like pretty much everything he does from that standpoint of like being physical because he backs it up. He's the
Yeah.
best defender on the team. So
Yeah.
like it's tonight was though one of the rare times where I'm like, Stu, you've let your team down because it's just like you said, man, like the Pacers put up 133 tonight. Like they needed
Yeah.
defense. Tonight it just felt like they couldn't get stops. And
Yeah.
especially against Miles Turner and the Pacers, who have so many like perimeter options that JD really struggles to cover. It's just like the one game you really, really, really need him. You've taken yourself out in the first quarter.
Yes.
So I think for
Yeah.
me, that's where like it was disappointing. But overall, like I mean, I saw people telling him to go to counseling and stuff. I'm not, I'm not going there.
Listen, you gotta. There's other ways to channel that anger. That's all. He just gotta
Yeah,
figure that out. Because I know he used to box, I guess, back in the day, and I
yeah,
know, you know, just I mean, I'm no fighter, right? But I mean, I think everyone's had their little scuffles in the past, right? Everyone's had that moment where you want to put hands on somebody and you just got to think better of it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can beat them up, doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? So Stu's having that problem. He needs to just be able to be at peace. He has to be at peace knowing that he can, yeah, take care of these guys. It shouldn't bother his ego. You know what I mean? Like, we know you can whoop them, bro. It's okay. Just we need you to play basketball, not fight. Just chill out.
yeah. Nah,
Uh,
yeah. It's just taking yourself out that early in the game just really hurts. Like, I mean, like even if it was in the
yeah.
fourth quarter, it still suck. But like, just immediately not having him for basically the whole game, it's just that hurt. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. But
Mm.
anywhere else you want to take it, man? Trades.
Yeah.
Don't have.
There was some other names actually that have popped up. I heard Anthony Simons from the Trailblazers was available. I wouldn't mind him either. I think he's a very very nice piece, right? Very serviceable. I mean, I think he's averaged like 17 or 18 with the Trailblazers, right? Or almost 20. So
I'm gonna pull
that
it
would
up
be a
while you.
nice piece.
I love that name.
There was also let me think, because I think the Trailblazers had a couple pieces that were nice. I think like Danny Avija or something like that. He's Jewish, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty nice. He's a forward. I don't know if they would be willing to trade him or if he's a core piece for the future. But that would be like some front court help since Tobias. He had a good game today, by the way. But we could use a younger piece in that front court that can score. Um, but yeah, there's been some other names that have come out, but
Simons
I
is
don't know, man.
interesting. I like Denny as well. Because I think the Blazers, they've got like all like Simons and Denny Adjia. I can't say his last name, but are both
Yeah,
like really good. Like on a playoff team, I feel like fringe starters, but definitely like 6 men off the bench. Like the Portland need to get rid of them so they can play their younger guys. So there's also
yeah,
the center, Rob Williams. He's always injured. I'm not too keen on him, but that's another guy I think
yeah.
they're looking to move. But Simons, that's for some reason like if he would be willing to come off the bench and be the Pistons 6 man next season
Hey,
behind
that's an
Ivy,
easy, yeah, easy
he
like 16 to 18 off the bench right there. Easy.
well, yeah, like you said, he's giving like I think he's having kind of don't want to say a down season, but like he's 19 a game, takes 8 threes, makes 38%. Like he's just like a flamethrower guy. Handle the
Yeah,
ball a little bit. Like he would be super fun. He's still very young, 25. The only thing is here is what Pistons next says. You probably have to give up a first. So I I'm not sure Trajan would do
I,
that, but you
I
never know.
agree.
Like
Yeah,
I like just if I forget about the trade, like him as a player, like if they could make it work, would be really fun. Like imagine having him, Cade, Ivy, 3 guards, like all give you 20 to
yeah,
25 a night. It'd be fun.
yeah.
Well,
It would be nice. I mean, he's a combo guard, so he could play with whoever, right? I mean, he could
yeah,
kind of facilitate or score. I know he prefers to score. The games I watch him, he shoot first, but um, yeah, I'm trying to think of some other pieces too, man. It would be nice to have a good well,
I like
an offensive center, maybe a bigger guy. Oh yeah, they put Kobe White, Portis,
Bobby. So,
Chicago. Yes, Chicago got a lot.
so Kobe White, similar mold to like Anthony Simons, 6 man, I think, on like a winning team. Bucket, shoot
Yeah,
first, flamethrower.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis, I actually did it. I got a trade video dropping tonight, just of 3 trades, and it involved Bobby Portis. He is an interesting name as well from the Bucks because he is a front court scorer. I spoke about it in the
Yes.
video,
Yes.
but you mentioned it there. Like, we need scoring from the center position, or like I think Portis is more of a true 4, but you can play him
Yes.
alongside you because he can score. And like Portis is a bucket. Like, I feel like he always cooks the Pistons.
Yes. He does. He's been a piston killer, man. Every time we face the Bucks, it's him and Brook Lopez is torching us when we drop into the paint to stop Giannis, and it is a pain. I know he's a little bit on the older side, but maybe it makes him a little cheaper. I'm not sure. I don't know what the contract looks like, but I know he's in his 30s, right? He's like 32, 33,
I think
maybe,
he's
right?
actually younger. He just looks old. I think he's still
Really?
like 28. Yeah.
28? If he's 28, then I'm all in. I'll take that. Yeah.
Because I only know because I was literally researching some of the stuff for him before I made this video. So he
Yeah.
is. Let me hang on. I want to see. Oh no, you were probably closer, bro. He's like 30. You're right.
Oh, he's 30? Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. So, well, right in the middle then. So we're close. You were saying 28, I'm saying 32, 33. That he's right in the middle.
yeah.
So 30 is not bad though. 30 is not bad. He just
Wait, I think
he got those
his
big old
birthday today.
Oh, his birthday's today? That's crazy. What are the odds?
Sorry to cut you off.
But
That's why I was just looking so weird because I'm like, hang on, I'm so confused.
yeah.
But sorry, I cut you off. But yeah.
No, you're good. Honestly, I didn't have any good analysis for him. I was just gonna say he's got those big old eyes, man. You know, he's gonna be he's just looking crazy on the court, but at least he's effective. You know, he's a shooter. I like that he's got a post game. He plays strong. He's got the mentality of a Piston. So I would love it. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to have him. I'm not sure what the value would be that we would have to give up to get him. Um, I mean, honestly, I don't know what I would want to trade because we don't want to trade draft capital. So who do
I'll
we
give
give
you the
up?
trade. The trade I saw. So I'll shout out my man Carl Metz, who's done some trade videos with me. He was in the chat earlier, but this man posts fake trades for a hobby. One of the best at doing them. So the one he had proposed was a 3-team trade, basically involving Jimmy Butler, where the Bucks get Butler, and in that deal, the
Oh,
Pistons get Portis, and they just send back a 2nd-round pick, and you can just yeah. So and just
yes,
Bobby Portis has 2 years, like 30 million left. So you get him for this season, expiring next. And he's giving you 14 points, 8 boards, 37% from
yes.
3. Like, he fills a lot of needs. I know it's not ball handling, but yeah, it's
Hey,
would be very, very helpful.
that's honestly beautiful. I would I would take that in a heartbeat because that automatically turns into an asset that is very, very tradable, right? You know what I'm saying? He's shown what he can do in the playoffs. He was a part of that championship run. He's got that pedigree to him now. You know what I'm saying? And he's just a skilled big man. It's not like I love Stu, right? It's like he brings kind of what Stu brings, but with more skill. Is what he reminds me
Yeah.
of. It's like maybe a more skilled Stu. Um,
Yeah.
and he is 6'10", right? You said so. He's interchangeable between power forward, center. We play small ball center a lot, anyways, right? So I I think that would be a great pickup for us because that's a guy Cade can drop it down in the paint to in the post, or he can pick and pop, kick out to him, and you'll feel comfortable with him shooting that 3 ball, catch and shoot. I
Facts.
love that trick. I love
No,
that
I
trick.
think
Yeah.
he would and he's just like a score first guy. Like, I think this team really
Yes.
lacks like someone who's just like Beasley has that, where like he
Yes.
doesn't care, he's letting it fly. And more often
Yeah.
than not, it's been going in this season, and he like tonight, Beasley, just as an aside, like hit 6 threes, all huge threes to keep the Pistons in the game, and he never loses that
Yeah.
confidence. Bobby Portis is the same, and I feel like without JI, Pistons are really missing that guy that when the
Yes.
game's not going their way, who's just going to let it fly and be confident with it. It's why, like, I was
Yeah.
hoping Ron Holland would get in earlier tonight. He struggled,
Hmm.
so JB made the right call there, but Ron's a guy who will go chase his bucket. He's just not there yet. But that's what I love about Portis.
I agree, man. I agree. And as far as like Kobe White, maybe that's like a cheaper version of Anthony Simons. I'm not sure. I think he would be cheaper because I seen whoever
Yeah.
commented said it would be like multiple firsts for Anthony, and I'm not willing to do that. But Chicago's got some pieces we can look at too. Vucevic, I don't know how much he would be worth, but I think Levine's too expensive for us at this point. Um, but yeah, man, I'm excited to see what they do with these trades, man. I've seen something about Beasley. We were just talking about him being hot from three this game, and his value is as high as it's been in the past couple seasons because of his expanded role with us. And we only have him for this season, so I know he did an interview and he was saying something about he's been very close with Trajan and talking to him and
Yeah.
understanding that at the end of the day it's a business and there's championship teams that would like to have him. So um, I think it would be kind of nice if maybe what if we trade Beasley, right, for maybe a piece that can help more long term and maybe we're able to re-sign him in the off season, something like that. But the thought of losing him does hurt because of games like today when no one had it and he's just going off, like it looked like we were
Yeah.
about to get blown out. He hits like two or three threes in a row. I'm like, it's hard to put a price on that, right? From a
Yeah.
role player that's only getting paid 6 million a year, or well, this season,
Crazy.
right? It's just like criminally underpaid. But
It's tough.
yeah,
Like I know the interview you're talking about, I read some quotes as well, and I was like, I hadn't thought about him being moved at all up until I read that. And I think that he was just being
yeah,
like honest about the situation, in the sense of
yeah,
like, of course, teams are going to inquire about him with how well he's playing. But
yeah,
yeah, it would be very tough to see him go. I still can't envision him being traded. But I mean, at the end of the day, if Trajan doesn't think he can keep him in the offseason, or then it would make sense to move him now instead of just losing him. But man, his shooting and on court stuff has been so crucial to making Cade who the player he is right now, or helping him with that. Like, but in the locker room, like,
mhm,
man, I would be worried about this team just a little bit from a leadership
yeah.
standpoint if they lost him, just for this season. But we'll see.
I agree. I agree. I think without him, Cade is not averaging 9 assists this season.
Yeah.
Maybe close to it, but it's you know to have a guy like that that just comes off the bench, letting it fly. It's a luxury, honestly. But for our team in the state we are right now, it's more of a necessity, right? Like we need him to do that damn near on a night by night basis just to be competitive against these teams that we've come across in these last couple games. Especially with Ivy out, right? I mean, but I guess like if we trade him, it's just got to be for someone that's going to have more of an impact than he does, right? At the end of the day, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we would be able to get for him. I don't know if they'd be okay with just getting draft capital for him, but I do agree that what he brings to the team does seem pretty invaluable at this time. I think I'm using that correctly, but it's hard to put a price tag on it. But I do want us to set ourselves up for sustained success moving forward. So if Trajan is talking to him, hopefully they've had these conversations. I'm sure they know where each other's heads are at when it comes to a contract and what he's thinking of. And hopefully they're in the same ballpark, so we can get a deal made. But if he knows, then yeah, I would prefer they move off of him, even if it hurts the team temporarily. If you know you're gonna lose in the future, I think it's the smart thing to do. Sell high, right? Sell high. That's what I say. But
Yeah, it makes the most sense. Like, honestly, it's just I just can't not see just for this season in particular, like him not on the team. But I guess like there's so many things that can happen at this deadline. In a week's time, it's
yeah,
gonna be at least least one new player on this team, so it's gonna be interesting.
for sure. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
any other thoughts, man?
I mean, go Pistons. There's not too much, man. I mean, I come on here and it's the little therapy session. Just get to talk about these games and the tough losses, but yeah, I
That's good.
appreciate them. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do, right? Because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So I'm just curious to see who is closer on the prediction for what they're gonna do, right? Everyone's got their thoughts, so it'll be nice to see
Can you?
who
All right,
is.
what's
Uh,
your prediction?
um, to be honest, I think we end up just being like a part of a three-team trade and just helping with the salary. I don't think we're gonna do anything drastic that's gonna change life for us. But yeah, I don't. I think we trade for a player though. I don't think we're gonna settle for just some draft capital. I think they want to get Cade help now, like sooner rather than later. Uh, but yeah, I'm not sure to be honest. There's just so many things. How I said, I'm gonna stay basic. Just say we're part of a three-team trade, help facilitate it with our cap space, and hopefully we bring in a guy, how you said, like a Bobby Portis, take advantage of that Jimmy Butler situation. That would be
I'm
nice.
I'm with you. I like the idea of Lonzo Ball. I think he's too injury
Yes.
prone for Trajan to ever consider. I'd be happy
Yeah.
if it happened, but I think with what Trajan prioritizes, I don't think Lonzo Ball fits that. Um,
I
so
heard Wiggins was another name actually that
the
we could.
Andrew Wiggins from Golden State.
Yeah, from Golden State. Yeah, if they try to trade for Jimmy, like
So
I heard that was
so
another
I
team.
think yeah, that's an interesting one. He's been better this season, but um, I mean he actually could come to Detroit and he would be like the second best option right
Yeah,
now. I'm just
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got good athleticism, good size. He'd be front court player at that three, right? Um, I wouldn't want him to take reps away from Asar, but you know,
yeah.
I think you
I
could
think
probably play them together at times.
yeah.
Honestly,
Well, I think though, like I'm with you definitely though. On like it feels like the Pistons are going to be a part of a three-team trade. Whether it's
yeah,
helping the Jimmy Butler one go through, because I feel like that has to happen. They're suspending
yeah,
him constantly. And then the Fox one feels like it's happening as well. So I feel like the Pistons are
man.
going to be in on one of those. And they're going to, I'm with you. I think Trajan's going to try to get a player that might have a bit of a big contract, but can definitely come in and contribute and help them make their own player push.
Out of curiosity, if we could pick up a Fox, let's say, what would you be willing to give up to get him? Would you be willing to give up a haul to make that your future backcourt, or
Nah,
are you out on
yes,
that?
Fox is awesome. And
Yeah,
I just I want the ball in Cade's hands, and I just think Ivy is a way cheaper version of De'Aaron Fox. I'm not saying Ivy even gets to what Fox is as a player because he's really good, but I think Ivy, I just feel like you've got something there with Cade and Ivy. That's not to
I
say if
agree.
who's like a really good guard I could see working with Cade. Oh man, I'm struggling here. But if there was like a really
You're
good
good.
guard that fit with Cade, I would do it. But I just think I think Fox needs the ball in his hands a lot, and he's really good with it. But I just want Cade
Yeah,
to have the ball. I think
I
Ivy's
agree.
3-point shooting season, like it's Ivy. I feel like they're going to be able to re-sign at like half of whatever Fox is on. Fox a better
I
player.
agree.
Invest
Yeah,
that
I
money, like
agree.
you mentioned at the start, in a front court scorer, someone who can score at the five. That's what they need, man. A wing that can
Yeah,
score, not a really expensive guard who will give you 20, but just or 25, whatever. I just better
it'll be
use
more
the
of the same issues. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree. I was just curious to, hear what you thought because I seen a post saying like this would be the best backcourt in the NBA and all this other stuff. So I was just curious. I was like, would you? I also feel like Fox got a little bit of diva to him, just a little bit. So I
Yeah.
like Ivy. Ivy, he's maintenance free, man. That guy's
Yeah.
invested in us. If you invest in him, he's gonna be good to you. So I think that's the
Right.
smart move.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
like, I can see why fans would want Fox, like, just him and K together, like, yeah, that would be good, but I don't know what the rest of your team looks like. You got that's like
yeah,
you got, like,
yeah,
2/3 of the cap in your backcourt and, like, yeah, you're gonna be asking one of them to defend a heap, and,
yeah.
like, I just don't really like the fit, but yeah.
I hear you. I hear you, brother. But yeah, that's about it for me though, man. It's getting a little late, but I appreciate you hanging on a little
Of
longer
course,
to fit me in, man. I appreciate it.
absolutely, my bro. Always. Always, man. Love
Yeah.
chatting with you, love your perspective, so, yeah. This helps me get over the loss as well, so I'm glad it helps you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm happy to hop on, man. It's always fun talking Pistons with you.
Absolutely, brother, and we're gonna get you on here after a win. I feel like this is the 3rd time they've
Yeah.
all been lost. And the
I've
best
been bad
no,
luck, man. I don't know.
no, but you're
I've
not
been
though, because you reach out
I'm
after the
after the
game,
loss.
so
Yeah.
you're not a bad luck charm, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I mean,
Oh
I
man.
think it's more admirable that you wanna come on after these losses, to be honest.
Yeah, I just figure like there's not too many people online after a loss, right? So it's like, why not? If there's like 4 or 5 people, I'll be like, oh, I'll just wait till the next one. But
I
yeah,
agree.
um,
I love it,
yeah, it's
man.
no problem. Yeah, no problem. But thanks again for having me on, man. I'm about to go
Sweet.
ahead and log off of here. But
Alright.
yeah, take it easy, brother. Talk to you later.
Alright, catch you, man. We'll talk soon. Bye. All right, Lewis, what a legend. Uh some stuff in here for Lewis in the comments. I forgot. So Dave, if you're watching, Dave Dalton, Pistons fanatic, I forgot that you wanted to come on tonight. So I'm gonna drop you a link now and we'll see if you're gonna pop on. I got probably 15 minutes to get up. Dave Dalton, the Pistons fanatic. I'm sure you've all seen his podcast on YouTube. Haven't spoke to him in a while, so hopefully he jumps on here before we round out the show. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this trade deadline. I just think they have to make a move. There's going to be a new player here. More than likely, a Pistons players might be gone. The main names that come to mind are THJ, Fontecchio, maybe Sass, but it's going to be the next week and the days leading up to next Friday are going to be very, very interesting. Or next Thursday, I should say. It's going to be very interesting. There's going to be rumors everywhere. So we'll see what happens. And Levine, yeah, as you mentioned, Pistons next is definitely another name that the Pistons could be the 3rd team in a deal. It feels like whilst like I was saying, like I'd love a CJ trade, I'd love Alonzo Ball trade. It just feels like the Pistons are positioned to help facilitate a deal for one of these 3 guys that Pistons next brings up here. Um, Yes, Sean, it's Dave. So I've dropped him a link. He DM'd me before because we were talking the other day about getting him on. But I completely forgot because he has to record his podcast first on YouTube and get it all posted. So um, hopefully he sees this link. I'll give it another couple of minutes. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, for those that are still watching, I've gone for an hour 40. I haven't done one this long in a while, but I've had some really good conversation tonight, which I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know it's definitely helped me feel better about this team and the loss specifically tonight. But yeah, I'm just scanning comments as usual. Some stuff in here about Stu, which we'll leave alone. Man, we got the Pacers fans in the chat tonight, which is interesting. Good on them. They got the win. Don't know what else they've won though, if anything, if I'm correct. Have the Pacers won a championship? Don't think they have won anything in the NBA, but that's okay. All right. I'm not sure if Dave, I think he might have gone to bed. I don't blame you for going to bed. I don't know what time it is for you guys on the East Coast, but I'm guessing it's very close to midnight, if not past midnight. But he's joined. Here he is. Dave, I was just about to end the stream. I've come at the
Yeah,
final moment.
yeah. Well, you could end it. It's pretty late, but
I
not
was just
there.
saying, what's the time on the East Coast? It's like midnight.
Yeah, it's 11:36 or something.
Well, thanks for jumping on. Sorry, I completely forgot that we're going to get you on. So yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good to
hard.
have you up here.
Yeah, I just have to wait. It just takes me a long time to upload my podcast after a game. That's the only unfortunate thing because I love coming on. And I actually had a comment from another Aussie on my podcast, and he's been on your show before, so that was cool.
It might have been Alan. We've had a few Aussies on here, so that's awesome. Or
Yeah,
Mark.
yeah,
I love it. Thoughts? We haven't spoken in a long time, Dave. I feel
yeah.
like it's like
Yeah, but I have enough thoughts to fill hours, so I don't know where you want me to start. Well, the
I
game
will be
tonight.
honest. I've only
Pardon?
got like 15 minutes left, but I
All right.
want to. You can have the whole 15 minutes. So far away.
All right. Well, the big thing. Did you hear the interview after the game, post game interview with Cade?
No, I've seen
Uh,
JB's, not Cade.
yeah. So Cade said that there's a lot of crazy stuff happening out there on the court, and it the refs acted like that we were the ones that were initiating it when we weren't, and he thought that the game could have been handled much better by people other than the players. So, I mean, obviously he was speaking about the refs in it. That's the way it looked to me. These refs are overmatched, in my opinion. They look like they're not ready for the moment. And the same thing with the Orlando game. I mean, that one ref that would get on the mic to talk about when there was challenges, he looked like he had pee running down his leg. And he just looked scared. And the guys tonight, that one little guy with the shaved head tonight, he was overmatched. And, George Blaha says that Halliburton's a punk. I mean, did you see when he signaled the technical foul, the timeout? He made a three, and he comes down running down the court with his big cheese ball smile, signaling a timeout, meaning that the Pistons better call a timeout, and thinking that
I
they
saw that.
were. Yeah, and then the cool thing was, of course, they get, we lost the game, so that's the ultimate. They won the game, and that's too bad. But he missed a wide open dunk, and he missed two free throws right after that. So
Yeah,
I
that was
was happy.
hilarious.
But I heard some of the things you said about Stu, and again, he's the heart and soul of our team, but he has a reputation, and you see like guys like Draymond and guys like Dennis Rodman, they are not going to get anything that happens. They're going to be the one that gets the technical or gets everybody's watching for them and anticipating that they're going to do something, and so when they do it, then they get hammered, and that was I thought a turning point in the game. I mean, we came back multiple times, but we, like you were saying, we need him on the court to, people were just getting to the rim. I mean, TJ McConnell was just shooting layups and Siakam was just shooting layups, and we just needed someone else out there that could guard them. We would have, Jordan was guarding Siakam part of the
Corner.
time. And that,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I that was too bad. And then I thought another turning point was when Beasley went in for the open dunk, and then they hammered him, and they reviewed it, and we should have had two free throws there, just like when Stu got the flagrant two, we had the ball, and
Yeah,
then
he
all
got the
all of a
rebound.
sudden
Yeah.
they get two free throws plus the ball, and so that's a big swing. And when Beasley should have been shooting two free throws, and instead they reviewed it, and he clearly got smashed. I mean, maybe his one hand touched the ball, but his arms smashed across Beasley's arms, and his body definitely just took him right out. And so that was a crazy call. But yeah, it was very frustrating because obviously you get fired up and you hate those guys, and like I said, and then Turner, he grabbed right a hold of Hardaway, and nothing was called on him. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was a frustrating game. But Cade said that we need to keep our composure better. We knew who they were and what they're like, and so we had to be more disciplined and follow the game plan. But yeah, I just thought the refs were outmatched. But I got lots of thoughts about trades. I got lots of thoughts about Asar. I got lots of thoughts about everything. And and the other thing, the NBA is a crazy league. You look at the Celtics, they've lost like in the last 15 games, they've lost. They're under 500, I think. And then the Cavs, they had that unbelievable start, and then they lost 5 out of 8 games in a stretch. So anything can happen. And even the Pacers, they lost to the Spurs in France by 40, and then they turned around and beat them by 38 like 2 nights later. And so, but we do have to get this turned around. It is really challenging to know what to do as far as a trade. I like a lot of the guys you like, and I love Anthony Simons, and he probably will cost too much, but he's, like you said, he's 25. He's a guy that you would want to keep around and have, like you said, if he be willing to come off the bench. But he has better handles than anybody on our team. He can get to the rim, and he can play make good, but he's a great 3-point shooter, even though his percentage is like 36, 37. But he's a shot maker.
Volume.
Yeah, and
He's taking like nearly 9 a game, so it's like it's different when you're a volume shooter. Yeah,
and he shoots them from deep. Yeah, and but he can knock him down. He's got a beautiful stroke, and yeah. So I would, again, everything depends on what you can get, and it's just like your one guest alluded to the quotes by Beasley saying, Beasley really wants to stay here, and he's in constant contact with Trajan, and he said, but it's a business, and yeah, we'll see after the trade deadline, and see what then they'll start talking again after the trade deadline. But I just don't know what you're going to get always. I thought we would get more for Jeremy Grant, and I thought we would get that number 7 pick that Portland had for sure, because they wanted him so bad, and Lillard wanted him real bad, and so I thought for sure they would give that to us, and they didn't, and then we didn't, for 2 years we kept thinking we were going to get something good for Bogey, and we didn't really get much of anything for him either. So yeah, it's
I
hard.
think people will say though the reason they got nothing for Bogey is because they didn't trade him at his highest value in his first season with Detroit, and that's kind of where Beasley is now. I don't want them to trade Beasley. I'm with you. I don't think they're getting a first rounder for Beasley. Like, I just can't see a team giving up a first for a guy on an expiring deal, even if he said he was going to re-sign. Like, I just think that's a lot to give up. So, but
I agree.
I'm with you though. I just
teams aren't giving up first round picks for guys. It's just you just don't see it happen. Guys are, unless you're the elite, unless you're somebody like DeAndre Fox. So who would be a better fit? Who would be a better fit for the Spurs? Because that's a big speculation that he wants to go to the Spurs. Who would the Spurs rather have, Fox or Cade?
Oh, well, Cade.
Yeah, well, so here's one for you. Here's one
They're
for
not
you.
him, yeah.
If you really think about it, who would you rather have? And it's going to sound crazy: Anthony Edwards or Cade Cunningham?
I'm biased, but I would say Cade, because I think Cade does more as an all-round player on offense.
I agree.
He needs to show it in the playoffs and that kind of thing, but like, I'm biased, but I like the type of player Cade is. Like, that's almost my favorite type of player.
I agree. And Cade is the leader, and Edwards comes and says goofy stuff. Edwards was quoted just a little while ago saying, "I don't like to pass." What does that tell your team? But he does. He's been fined by the league like 5 different times for just stupid stuff, and that's not the leader that you want on your team. And Cade Cunningham is everything like the leader you want on your team, and so I take him, any day over him. I mean, it's hard, and even I'll tell you, and I just love Shea, and Shea's going to win the MVP. So it's really hard to say, because Edwards is a better player than Cade, and Shea's a lot better player than Cade. But it's just like in football and American football, the quarterback gets paid like 25% of the salary cap. They get paid way more than all the rest of the players, and it's because their position is important. They have the ball in their hands all the time, and they're just the key to the game. And so, Shea kind of plays point, but not really. He's really just a scoring guard that just comes down. But he's incredible. But and Shea's, I don't think, a bad leader. So I don't know if I would go that way. I want to really quick, the Portis trade. People are all talking about the Portis trading for Portis, and of course he is the guy that every team in the league would want. But I don't see how Milwaukee, if they want to win a championship, how they can give him up. They don't have a backup for he plays backup for Giannis and Lopez. And so they have no other big guys on their team. And so like Portis was out last night or the night before when the Bucks played. I was watching their game and they had nobody to sub in, for those two big guys. And so, I just don't see him getting traded. I don't think that they would put him in a trade. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of crazy stuff, can happen in at the trade deadline. But I just, I love Colin Sexton, and he's an energetic guy. He tore it up when he was with the Cavs. He was unbelievable. His assist, his efficiency, 2 and 3 point shooting, and he plays hard. The only thing about him and Simons are they're both undersized, and so that of course that what makes having Cade so valuable because he's such a big guard. So if you have a small guy, but obviously Ivy and Simons or Sexton would have to play together some. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the who what we could trade to Utah to get Sexton even, that what do they want? They're just getting all these draft picks and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, probably more picks. I haven't even looked at a Sexton trade, but yeah, it'd probably be centered around like some second round picks and whatever you would need to do salary wise.
Yeah.
Because I think he's been in the league since 2018, I think. So he must
He's
be like,
he's only 26.
but yeah, he must have like a season or two left on his deal or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he does. He has he has next year. He's making 18 million this year, 19 million next year. And Bobby Portis just has a contract for this year, and I think next year Bobby Portis has a player option.
yeah,
So
he'll pick that up. If you
you
trade
think
for Bobby, he's definitely going to pick it up.
I'm not sure. It's only 13 million. So if there's, I guess not many teams have any money. So that's the other thing that complicates things. So
I think the thing is they need like, what's your thoughts on this? Like, I just think no matter what the Pistons' aspirations are, like, I think like I want them to make the playoffs, and I think no matter what they do, unless they like traded half the team, they're not going to fall out of the play-in.
they're not
They
going to.
can't. I can't see them finishing lower than 8th. Like with the
Yes.
injuries Atlanta have now got, the Bulls are already a fair bit behind. So I just think though they're going to have some form of playing game, potentially playoffs. So regardless of that, though, I think they just need another ball handler for Cade. Like, I can't. They're just going to wear him down, and I think that's not good for his development, and obviously not good for his health, like as a player. So that's why I just please get a ball handler.
Yeah, I don't know. Alfred Payton is, he's been let
Yeah,
loose. Nobody's claimed him, so I don't know why. But so you need a guy that's gonna be also content and happy playing a backup role. And does that mean that you don't play Sasser? And you heard tonight, JB and Cade both in their press conferences talked about Asar taking on more playmaking duty. And I'll tell you, so just to promote tomorrow, I usually only come on after games, but tomorrow I'm going to come on after they announce that hopefully that Cade's an all-star. So that's they're going to announce that at 6:30 tomorrow on TNT, and I'm going to come on after that and talk about that. But, if you were to have a draft and pick the top 10 players, if you were starting from scratch, a team, and you were starting, not just any expansion team, but if you were starting a team and you could pick somebody that you want for like the next 10 years, I'm going to tell you, Amen Thompson would be on the list. And I was going to talk to you about this differently. I was going to say, of all the player comps, that we always hear player comps, and especially around draft time, player comps. Well, who's the best player comp for Asar Thompson? It's Amen. I mean, and of course, last year, Asar started out the year getting to play. He was the talk of the league. Everybody said that if there was a redraft after the first month and a half, he would be taken third. And he's, and then he got to play all that. And then all of a sudden, Monty stopped playing him. And then last year, like at this time, Amen was in the G League. and so he's really come on. I mean, but he's playing like 40 minutes a game, and Asar's playing like 20 minutes a game. And so I agree with you. Everybody else is trying to lose so bad. We are going to get to be in the play-in at least. So,
Yeah.
so
And I think with Asar is like as well, he missed like he couldn't play any type of
yes,
5-on-5 or he couldn't even play 1-on-1.
yes,
He couldn't play
that's
anything for like 8, 9, 10 months.
that's
Like
killer.
nothing. It was just skill development for him, which is
Yeah,
kind of good, but like like he needs to like the handle. Like you're a coach,
yes,
Dave. How much
yes,
you can obviously improve your handle, like doing like 1-on-0 stuff, but like
yes,
you need the reps. You need the
yes,
reps. You need to have like 3 defenders around you, be in the paint, like to get
yes,
that stuff. And he just hasn't had that. He just
yeah.
hasn't.
So
So
we just gotta live with it and let him go and let him do what he can do and play him 30 minutes a game. And we're going to end up better off by playing him 30 minutes a game. And there in some games, if he's really struggling, then not do it. But yeah, he's worked so hard. I mean, I always say that the reason I didn't want the Thompson twins, I want Cam Whitmore, and Cam Whitmore is amazing, but I'd rather have the Thompson twins, but they work so hard at their game. They work so hard on their ball handling since they were little kids. They work so. I mean, I read stories about when they were like 7 years old and their dad had them doing stuff. But he, um, so they need to do it in an NBA game. And you look at how much a men's grown, where he's come from, where he was to what he's now. He's crazy good. Everybody in the league would want him. Like again, if you were having a draft, obviously Wemby would be first. I think Cade would be taken real high. If you were looking for a team to have a guy for the next 10 years, who would you take? Amen would be one of the top 10. I would promise you, and I think Asar is. They're the same size. They're just about the same athletically. They both play defense. They both, and again, you looked at the beginning of last year, it looked like Asar was the far better player just because he got opportunity. And now Amen's getting opportunity. And, if they wouldn't have had the Rockets, I watch more Rocket games than any other team just because I want to watch Amen play because I can see, and, we need to have an assistant coach study what exactly Houston does with Amen so that we can incorporate that and do some of those things with Hassar. And we did a little bit last year where he runs the pick and roll where he's the picker and instead of just setting him in the corner. And I do think his shot's going to get much better by next year. I don't think it's going to necessarily translate this year, but I think by next year it's going to. But anyway, my 15 minutes is probably up. So
no, you're good. I got another
yeah,
couple here. Can I just get your thoughts? Because we haven't spoken in a while. So
yeah,
just your thoughts on where the team's at right now. Because I think last time we spoke, they would have been like, it was in
yeah,
like November. So I feel like this
yeah.
team's come a very long way from
Oh,
even then.
but it's like I was saying earlier, these teams have these streaks, and even the best teams have these streaks, and we are still going to struggle. We're going to have games. There's some games that we come away from, and we're just so on cloud nine, and they look so good, and we just have to be happy with those. We have to be. I mean, that's the secret to life, in my opinion. I try to when I was coaching, I would tell all my players that is to embrace and really enjoy and take in when things go good and not when things go wrong, not to let it kill you. And we there's no guarantees. Everybody thinks, oh yeah, our schedule's getting easier. We could lose to the Mavs. They got Quentin Grimes. Anyway, that's my guy. But I was bummed that we traded him. But yeah, I love where we're at. I love the togetherness that we have. I love the chemistry that we have, and I love the attitude that we have and the confidence that they're getting. And it is so much fun to watch. And again, tonight was disappointing. But those guys, everything can go so wrong, and it looks like they have no chance. And then you know, 2 minutes to go, they're back with they're 20 behind, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's 4 minutes, 2 minutes to go, they're within four. And even when it looks like we're just completely overmatched by some teams sometimes, and it's just I really admire the way that how gutsy they are, and I like, I still have questions about what is going to happen next year. How much do we value Tim Hardaway? And he's not always great, and he's only signed through this 1 year, and if we don't re-sign him, does that give Holland and Asar more minutes, and it's just going to be interesting. And Tobias was my favorite player back when he was with the Pistons the first time, and I wanted them to. He was with Orlando, and I wanted to get him the year before we ended up getting him. And when he was with that was he was my favorite player on the team. But he has been not good, and he doesn't handle the ball well. He likes to push the ball sometimes, but he can't. When you get the double comes, he's late, and then he just can't shoot. And his 3-point volume was really low last year, and the number of shots he took. But now, like tonight, he was really good. He helped get us back in the game and had a hot streak. But he's 1 for 8 on threes, and so he's not taking gravity. They're leaving him wide open, just like they would Asar or Holland. And I mean, they're guarding Holland just as good or more better than they're trying to guard Tobias because he can't make them. How many games have we had where it's been a close game and he's wide open for the three in the corner, and he misses
Yeah.
it like every time. But yeah, I love this team. I love their grit. They overachieved obviously, and my dream was for them to win, um, close to 30. I thought they'd do 32 games. That was my prediction. But I thought at 32, that used to not get you in the play-in.
Yeah.
Last year, it wouldn't have got you in the play-in last year. And so this year, though, all these teams have had injuries. They're doing terrible. They're trying to lose. And even some of the teams like the Bulls, they should be trying to lose even harder. And we're not trying to lose. So like you said, there's almost no way that we're not going to make the plan. So it's promising. I'm fine with that. I wanted us to get like the fifth best odds or sixth best odds and move up in the lottery and get a high pick. And I'm sure that Trajan wanted a high pick to, add another player. But I love where we're at, and I think that we're in a great place. I'm gonna do a podcast sometime. Who would you rather be? Jim Harbaugh, the coach at the University of Michigan, he had this saying, and he did it with his players. But his dad used to say, "Who had to his kids when Jim was younger?" He said, "Who has it better than us?" And they would yell, "Nobody." Well, there are some teams in the NBA that have it better than us, but you look around the NBA and go team by team, and I'm going to do that on one of my podcasts. Would you rather be the Philadelphia 76ers? There's no way. Would you even rather be the Los Angeles Lakers or the Golden State Warriors at at their future? It's fun to have a team that's an ascending team, and that was
Yeah.
fun when Isaiah Thomas was first drafted, and those Pistons before we got Dumars and Rodman and Sally and some of those guys. It was so much fun to watch, and there was no pressure on you. You were going to win like 40 some games, and they played up and down. They were really fun. But they're, once you get good, like the Lions are now there's pressure on you. Now, if next year, if we lose in the first or second round, people are going to really be not happy. And just like nobody in Philly's happy, and people right now in Boston aren't happy. I can tell you that much. I don't know. So
No, no, definitely.
we have a
It's
lot more to be happy about.
We do. Like it's a good perspective because like even these losses are tough, but even Devon, who was on first, was just talking about how good it is that the Pistons can have this kind of rivalry thing going on with the Pacers where like they're right in these games. And like you said,
And the
they come,
Magic, and the
yeah,
Magic,
and
and
the
the
Magic,
Rockets. We
and
hate
they
them
always
all.
come back. They come back. They
Yeah.
don't like the Cavs the other night was the Cavs are one of the best teams in the NBA, so that's all right.
Yeah.
But the Magic, even in that game, they come back, and obviously they haven't won these games, but like they never lie down fully. Like they're always making a run, and it feels like they're always overachieving. But I think it's because the chemistry is so good. JB's doing an awesome job.
I agree.
Cade's a great leader. There's a real good special thing brewing there, and they're all so young. Like they're all so young.
Yeah, I study this stuff. The teams that win are teams that are when their best players like 27. So when Isaiah was 27, the Pistons won their first championship. When Michael Jordan, Giannis, Steph, LeBron, name a guy that when they win the first championship, they were all 27. And and so Cade's 23, and we got all these young guys, and and it's even taken Oklahoma City. Shea's, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be close to 27 right now. But yeah, so to be this good, this young, and I think Asar could end up being unbelievable, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But I think that he has that potential, and so we're just playing along now. It's not going to happen to us for a couple years. That's why we don't. And I think you agree that we're not desperate to make a big move right now. And if
No.
a big move fell in our laps, you do it. But I don't think it's going to happen. And so you just be patient. You just keep on improving. But we do. Yeah, I don't know who the answer to get the secondary ball handler, but to trade a lot to get Sexton or Simons or somebody, and then they're going to have to be on the bench next year and come off the bench, and are they going to be happy? And then Simons, I think, only has 2 years left on his contract, and yeah, Sexton only has 2 years this year and next year on his contract. But anyway, it's all fun. Like I said, you haven't had. I got to go through the bad boys and the going to work teams and experience that thing. And a lot of fans like you have never had. This is fun. This is fun. So if you're a Piston fan, you get disappointed. You really would wanted to win this game tonight so bad, and it was a bummer. But we turn around and we have these other games that just are like when we beat the Rockets. I mean, what was better than that? That was so uplifting, and I
No,
enjoyed it. I mean,
it's the best thing about the NBA is like if you have a bad loss, there's a game the next night or definitely the one after. So,
Yeah.
and now they get to go home. They've been on the road for like two weeks, it feels like. So get some
Yeah.
home games. I know they haven't been as good at home, but it's all
Yeah.
winnable games. So
Yes.
no,
No guarantees. But so my big question is, if I missed it, if you've announced it, when are you coming? When you're
I'm.
when you're when you're
Oh,
gra-
I
final-
haven't. I can't say yet, but I'll be able to say very, very soon. Very
Yeah.
soon.
Well,
I'm very excited though. It's obviously this season and it's sooner rather than later. I'll say
yeah.
that. But yeah, I
And
can't wait to get over, man.
you're definitely going to get to catch at least 2 games, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. So
I'm hoping for more, but
yes.
definitely at least one or two. Definitely one, obviously, probably two, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but
I
yeah,
hope you get 2 or 3, because the thing
yeah.
is again, you get to, if you see 2 or 3 games, then the chances are one of them are going to be really good game. And
Well,
if you just see one game, it could be like tonight, or but tonight wasn't a
I've
bad game.
well,
I was.
I'm 1-0 at Pistons games I've attended. So
Oh,
I've been to one Pistons game in Boston a couple of years ago
yeah.
when Cade as a rookie beat Jeremy Grant, I think, hit like the game winner at
Yeah.
TD Garden. It was a good night.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate
Well,
it. And like I said, I'm sorry I
you're good.
didn't message you quicker, and
No, that was my fault. Don't worry, Dave. It's been awesome having you on. Sean says here, great job, Dave. Let's not overpay for someone. Yeah, plenty of love for you in the chat as well, Dave. So,
Yeah.
guys, I'm sure you all know, but go check out Dave's podcast, Piston Fanatic, on YouTube. Is that correct? And
Yes.
Twitter.
Yes.
So go check out
Piston.
his podcast. He would have had a game. You would have just posted your podcast, wouldn't you? Recapping tonight's game.
Yeah, I did. I did post tonight's recap, but I might have to start going on between games and just do different topics, because now there's too many guys doing after games. Nobody did it last year except for me, and now, I'm not very fast at doing it. But I used to have last year. I used to have guys. I wouldn't get sometimes posted until like midnight, and
Yeah.
some guys would tell me, "Oh, I can't go to bed until I get to hear your podcast," and so. I would always make sure I did it. But yeah, you have a good night. Thank you, Jack, and you do a great job. And it's fun to have somebody that loves our Pistons and is enthusiastic and positive and uplifting. So it's a
Thank
joy.
you.
So
I
all right,
appreciate that a lot, Dave. And you too. You keep doing your thing, and hopefully, I see you in Detroit.
yeah. Well, I live 4 hours away. So I
Okay.
think I shared that with you. I mean, when they were at the Palace, that was only 3.5 hours away, but I would drive down and drive back. I don't go to as many games as I did when they were at the Palace. So
We'll
plus
see. Well,
I'm old. So
thank you though for jumping on, Dave. I appreciate you staying up, and we'll get
all
you back
right.
on.
All
All right.
right.
You have a good night. Bye.
Thanks, Jack. Bye.
What a legend Dave is. Awesome to have him up here. What have we? We've gone for over 2 hours, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but I appreciate everyone in the comments tonight. Pistons next, Lewis, Devon, Sean, you've all stuck around for this whole thing, it feels like. So I appreciate you guys joining for Lewis, Devon, and Dave coming up on the stage. Love chatting with all you guys. So please come back whenever you have the time. But yeah, guys, unfortunately, I lost tonight, but we'll be back for all the games next week. Well, we've got the Mavs to end this week, then the Bulls, then the Hawks coming up. So we should have a stream for all three of those. So until then, as always, go Pistons.